TikTok is looking. TikTok looks okay. TikTok is functioning, it would appear. If you guys could give me a thumbs up on TikTok, let me know that you can hear me and see me all right. That would be greatly appreciated. See how Instagram is doing. Instagram has been giving me some trouble lately. Not sure why or what the solution is. So I'm just going to kind of keep my fingers crossed and hope that it functions tonight. And if you guys could do the same thing over there, give me a thumbs up on Instagram, letting me know that you can hear me and see me all right. Okay, very good. All right, TikTok does look good. Thank you so much. Good to have you guys here. And welcome also everyone on YouTube at AskIvy the Medium. Good to see you. Do you want to give a quick shout out here before we get started to my YouTube members? But before I do that, you guys are here tonight for the Ask Ivy show, where you can ask me about absolutely anything: health, wealth, travel, your love life, spirituality, paranormal. If you have someone in the spirit world, a human, a pet that you would like to hear from, I can connect. Literally anything goes on the Ask Ivy show. It is all things. I do ask that you include the first name or initials of anyone you're referring to, though. So if you're asking about a specific lover, if you're asking about a deceased loved one, if you're asking, like you're comparing two jobs or two addresses, you know, or something like that. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. If you're comparing a couple things, give me the first name or the initials at least. Okay, so I could tap in faster and get on to your neighbor and give you a deeper message. If you prefer to get a private reading, you can do that anytime. Go onto my website. I do work internationally. Super simple self-booking system, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com. There's something available typically in my schedule of availability for everyone. Even if, because like I'm here in New York, but even if you're like in the Middle East, you should be able to find something that works. If not, you can get a video reading sent to you. So there are plenty of options there. Diana, my beautiful producer, is with us tonight. So she will be taking your questions and your donation and posting the directions in the comment section if you're on Instagram or TikTok. But if you're here on YouTube at AskIvy the Medium, the best place to support me, please switch over here if you guys aren't. And please do subscribe. But if you are here on YouTube, you can see right in the description box above how we do this, where you could drop your donation, how to ask your question. Okay, you guys can also leave it open-ended. So if you're like, I don't know, I don't really have a question, but I just like being here, and tell me something good, you know, or whatever. If you want something good, you better be specific. I don't know what's going to come through. I don't control that part. You could just be like, I don't know, give me a message. Give me a general, okay? And I'll tell you what's up. Looks like we have quite a few people. We have quite a few early questions that came in. So I do want to just run through a few things real quick, and then we're going to start getting right into this today. My hauntings, clearings, and detachments class is Tuesday. So I refer to this all the time. For those of you who have been watching me for a while, I'm constantly making reference to possession, attachments, evil energy, protection, and how you need to be aware and skilled in this area, educated and then defended. Okay, so this is the class for you. This is the class I'm always referring to. It's always available through video download, but this is part of my psychic mediumship course curriculum. So you would be joining from the public with my psychic mediumship course. It's a lot of fun. Registration is now open. So again, hauntings, clearings, and detachments class is Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can just go right up onto my website, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com, to get registered. We have our first Ivy League Psychic Fair of the season. Spring is here. Thank God. Praise Jesus. Okay. We made it. I made it. We're live. Okay. So we're climbing out of our holes, through the tundra, and off we go to Margin Manor Winery, the hauntingly beautiful Margin Manor Winery in Appleton, New York. So our first Ivy League Psychic Fair of the season is going to be April 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. I think I have maybe 2 slots left available, maybe not. There are readers from my academy, of course, who will also be there. Always amazing. So we have tarot, psychic mediumship, orographs, pet readings, all the things. So pre-book with your reader, and you can book up to 3 slots per person. But if you prefer to just try your head and did a walk-in, that's great too. Okay, so we hope to see you there. Also, Margot, the owner of Margin Manor Winery, has been bringing in, if you guys haven't been there in a while or you've never been, I mean, the architecture is phenomenal. The history is phenomenal. She's been on TV, I think, 3 or 4 different times because the place is also very haunted. So it's got that paranormal charm, wine tasting and things like this, but she's been bringing in a lot more of the local artists. So it's pretty great. You need to go and just do some shopping, make a solo trip, or come with your friends. Okay, book your spring and summer party now. I also do corporate events. I do shows, so I am in entertainment, gallery shows, private readings. People are booking up pretty quick, whether it be like bridal stuff, summer parties. So you're going to want to get your dates booked up now so I can come and work your event. If you need a whole psychic fair, I can also provide you with an Ivy League Psychic Fair. Okay, all certified readers, I train them by hand. Monday, March 30th is my dream analysis show. I don't know why I'm so hooked on dream analysis. Like, what is it? It's just absolutely amazing to take a dream and then decipher what all of the symbology, the meaning is behind it, and see how it applies to your life in such a powerful way. So I am addicted to this. For those of you too waiting on my symbology book, you know how such a huge portion of my symbology book is based on dream analysis. So I'm doing a test show tomorrow. Yeah, Monday, March 30th. That's tomorrow. Okay, called Dream Analysis Show. And if you guys give this a ton of engagement, thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. If you give it a ton of engagement, I will happily add it to my 2026 show lineup. So drop your early questions now. This is going to be unlimited, so you can ask about as many dreams as you want. Just explain the dream, and then I'll explain you what it's telling you. We also have on Wednesday, so this is going to be, you know what, let's just talk about this week. Diana, let's just talk about all the shows we have coming up this week, because there are kind of a ridiculous amount. We have my Ask Ivy members only exclusive show, also Tuesday evening. So if you want to become a YouTube member, switch over to YouTube at AskIvy the Medium, hit the join button. And the top 2 tiers, if you become a member, you get an Ask Ivy exclusive show every month. So my undivided attention, along with your fellow subscribers. It's a ton of fun. And then on Wednesday, I will be back here for the Unbound Sage, where I deliver out to you whatever is the most important message for you to hear at this time. And then Thursday, I'm back for the yes or no question show. So you can start getting all your early questions in now for that. I do want to say thank you so much to my YouTube members, Crystal Henhock, Yolanda Fisher, Chaley, Lumen Grove, Anna, Angie Johnson, Jennifer Cole, Marie D, Tristan Marion, Me Love 716, Andrea M, Vanessa, Jennifer Barone, Abby Hicks, Stella Marie, Kim Elizabeth, Denise Bennett, Jay Lebeans, Edgar Velardes, Melissa S, Christine Watts, Miami Heat 305-ish, CJG, Shauna Dempsey, Demetris, Language Through Connection, and Deanna Marie. Okay, again, if you want to become a YouTube member, switch over to YouTube at AskIvy the Medium, hit the join button. It'll show you the 3 different tiers of membership options. And that includes things, perks like monthly horoscope, monthly mini class, an AskIvy exclusive show. You get a direct email reading, which literally pays for the entire subscription itself. Weekly spirit messages, all kinds of things. I feel like I'm forgetting to mention something, but I don't remember what. I think we're good to go. Let me see where I am. I'm not loving the hair today, and I can't. I think on this white background is just making it worse. 5 lumps. It's going to be what it's going to be, I guess. The curls are fighting their way out, right? I'm getting ready for my summer hair. See where we are. Do I have enough paper here for tonight's show? Yes, I think we're going to be okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera, Psychic Medium, a Taino Airwalk. This is my Ask Ivy show where you drop $10 donation. You can ask any type of question under the sun. Health, wealth, travel, love. If you have a deceased loved one or pet that you would like to hear from, I do ask that you include the first name of whoever or whatever it is that you're referring to. And if you're not comfortable doing that, because this is public, at least include the initials. If you prefer to do this privately, you can go onto my website, ivyriverapsychicmedium.com. I do work internationally. It's a super simple self-booking system, so you can book your reading anytime. We're going to go ahead and get right into this today. So who is our first victim? What is all this? All right, so we have Alicia is first. Alicia says, will delaying the sale of the house to temporarily rent it out in law side apartment affect eventual sale price of the house positively or negatively? Okay, that's written a little confusing, but I think I get the gist of it. So the house, see, what would be good here is if I have like the house address or something like that. But I can still, I'll tap in, I'll do the best I can. House temporary rent, will it eventually drag down the price for the sale? Positively or negatively? I feel like it actually all balances out for you, Alicia. So I wouldn't worry about it. We're really pinching pennies here. We're really splitting hairs. Okay. Your working money guide is saying, like, you're basically looking at something under a microscope, and it's almost like you're looking for something. It's almost like you're overreaching. So I don't think that, it's the question in itself, clearly, that is overreaching. I think it's the outcome and the fact that you're basically going to make the same amount no matter what you do. So they don't want you overthinking it. You have probably also been asking yourself this question and asking the universe and feeling very much like you're not really getting a yes or no, black or white, right or wrong, left or right. Like, which way do I go? Because this falls into a free will zone. So this is one of those answers you probably hate to hear, but it's up to you how you do this exactly and what exactly you do. I think that because there are no major red flags coming in here, though, you have already noticed that it doesn't matter how you do this exactly. Okay. So you could not. Okay. But I don't think it affects things really either way. I mean, again, we're pinching penny. We're talking about the difference between hundreds of dollars, not thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay. If at all, it really affects things. I feel like I want to say to you, though, and I know this isn't your question and it's not my business, but I'm just going to stick my 2 cents in here as a psychic. I feel like you want to leave it. I feel like you just want to unload this thing. I feel like you don't want to be dealing with a rental. But there's this other part of you that feels like you could make more off of it if you put in that effort, and that you could get things to work out so that it's okay. It's pretty smooth sailing, so it's almost like a why not put in this extra effort. So, I think you're probably leaning more toward renting it, but whatever. It's going to work out just fine for you. Okay. So good luck with all of that. We're going to move on to another one. What do we have next is Melsubi 75. I was wondering if I can get a general reading. General reading for Melsubi 75 general. I feel like your heart was breaking and then your heart was aching. And now I'm hearing like your heart is like shaking and kind of ready to like move and shake and, dance around. It's this image of you coming out of a long, dark, damp period of a lot of internal discussion, and quite frankly, it looks like hibernation. It almost looks like when a bear goes into a cave. And you ever see them pop out and they look ridiculous and hilarious, but they're so they're so happy. They're a little slow, finding their footing, but they're so happy to just be in the sun and just to stretch out and have their crazy hair and just to, like we all feel, you know, it's very much symbolic, I think, that the way your heart is coming out of this period of heaviness is symbolic to the weather, you know, currently, especially like in the northern, you know, hemisphere. I think it's springtime for you. I think it's a time also where you need to feed it, because you may hear this message and be like, I don't know, I'm still having some days, you know, I'm still having some real heavy energy. That's okay. It's not a race. It's not a rush. It's a done deal. It's unfolding on its own. But I do feel like this requires you to be a little bit more proactive in the way that you have a tendency to be like, wow, I feel pretty good when everything's good, or I feel good when everything's working, or I feel like, you know, my mood is very much a product of who and what is happening around me. But remember that, and you have a grandmother stepping in here who may have smoked, she's smoking cigars, which can be symbolic of celebration, but she may have smoked also. You know, when she comes in here, this could have also been a cancerous condition. Take it out, resonates. When she comes in here, she says, happiness is an inside job. You've heard it before, but now you have to walk it out. And she had this, like she naturally understood this, and she gained a lot of happiness in her life, or she doesn't even like to call it happiness. She refers to it as peace. Peace is happiness for you now, okay, is joy. But she gained a lot of that in her life by cutting people off. She gained a lot of that by not addressing things that didn't affect her or didn't have to be her business. Like I basically kept my nose down. I was minding my own business. I stayed in my lane, and that brought me happiness and joy and peace. And she's just recommending that you do more of that as you go forward, but also plan dates with yourself. So it's like concerts, or if you like going out and having a couple drinks and listening to some band play down at the river, or the, you know what I mean? Like summer gigs. And, you know, if you just enjoy going to even vending events and things like that. I don't know why I see so many like vendors and like shows and concerts and things. Everything seems to be outdoors for you. Whatever this is that helps you to sort of lighten your energy, lighten your mood a little bit, being around groups of people. I think it's important for you to keep feeding your healing, okay, into this phase of moving and shaking it off and brushing it off, you know, and getting out there and dancing. And the best thing you could do is to have some stuff scheduled, because if you go by your mood, right, it's very easy to be like, yeah, I want to go do something. And then because you don't have anything planned, it's like 20 minutes later, like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to go back to bed. You know, you're going to have to push yourself a little bit. All right, push yourself. She's going to be helping you with that. But it looks like brighter days ahead, no doubt about it. And you did all the hard work. All right, we're going to move on to another one. Thank you so much. And thank you for the hearts on TikTok. You guys are so sweet. Next up is Mackenzie Mooser. Mackenzie Mooser. Mackenzie says, today is Chundi's birthday, and I'm processing. I'm trying to understand why us. Have we finished all of our tests and destined paths? We've gone 2 months, no contact. All right, so let me write this down. Have we finished our tests and destined paths? Well, you have, and I'll tell you why. He's not a grower. He's not a hard worker. Like, I'm not saying he's not a workaholic. I think he actually might be. I'm talking about on himself as an individual. Chandi is a determined mess. He has decided he won't grow. He won't change. He won't learn. He won't put in the effort. He won't see things from other people's perspectives. He won't be able to then really connect with other people. He won't be able to have deeper levels of intimacy with others. He won't be able to do any type of teamwork, building, okay, with others, in interpersonal relationship, in community, in deep love affairs. Like, there won't be any. So he has decided, as a human being who has one main job on earth, and that is to grow. We all have the same job. We come to earth as spiritual creatures. The earth plane is a classroom which teaches growth. We have one job. He's decided he's not going to do his job. He's not going to do his one job. And what that means is that as he's getting older, and it's funny that today's his birthday because that didn't even register to me, but here's what Spirit's saying about it. As he gets older, he's going to actually shrink. He's going to actually digress. Okay. It's like a regression into childhood. He's going to become increasingly more immature and weird. And, you know, you're growing and you're changing and you're evolving. And when you have someone who is not growing and they're digressing, and you have one person who's growing leaps and bounds, you've got one heck of an imbalance here that simply cannot come together. There's no way for it to do so, right? That's just universal law. That's just energy. That's law of attraction, all right? And it's law of motion, because what is in motion stays in motion, and what is stagnant remains. So it's getting more difficult as he's getting older to pull himself out of that. Not that he's trying. But the bottom line is this: when you are dealing with another person, you both have to be growing in order to spend time together. And if one person isn't growing, or both people are not growing, that relationship will implode. And with the tests and the destined path that you guys have had together as a contract together, within any contract you have with another person, it splits off into two parts. So there's Chundi's part of the contract, and there's Mackenzie's part of the contract. And you are fulfilling your part of the contract because you are growing, because you are setting boundaries with him, because you are learning the lessons, because you are allowing this relationship to be a mirror. You're allowing it to activate you forward. And he is not fulfilling his part of the contract, which means you're done. You're free and clear to go. So it could be painful to know that he's not going to fulfill his part. Therefore, the entire contract cannot be fulfilled. But that's not your problem technically. Okay? Karmically, that's not your problem. You did your part. So you may want to say here today on his birthday to the universe, I am willing to learn any other lessons I was supposed to accomplish within this contract with him through other means. Send me other people. Send me other situations. Okay? Send me what I was supposed to get out of this that I'm not going to get. And if I'm done, you know, help me move on to the next most important thing. And that's it. You're free and clear. He is trapped. Two totally different situations. And that happens a lot in contracts, unfortunately. So the tests will continue, but they're really going to be more on his end. And any additional tests that you receive are just to remind you of how important it is for you to keep growing. Okay. And what it looks like, and this is a general message for everyone. Sometimes in these shows, I get general messages or collective messaging. You know, some people really are here. It's like that meme that came out recently. Some people really are here to show you what not to become, how not to live. Okay. Because they're not living. They're not growing. They're not changing. They're not learning. They're not evolving. It's not about you showing them how. It's about you looking at them and being like, that's what I'm not going to do. You know? All right. We're going to move on to another one. Who is next? This is Edgar Velardes. Does my cousin Oscar Renderos have any messages for me? He passed away in 2010 in a vehicle accident. Oscar has come through with you a couple times, I want to say in recent weeks, twice, literally twice. He said he's come through a couple times in recent weeks, trying to let you know to dot your I's and cross your T's. So if you've been getting involved in contracts, renewal of contracts, any new major investments, any big purchases, any conversations, even conversations and talks about contracts. Okay, this is verbal agreements, showing interest. He's making sure that you're dotting the I's and crossing the T's and reading the fine print. And he's excited. He seems to be really excited for you and with you, okay? Anytime you're building, you're getting something new, you're going in a new direction, like you're leveling up. And And he has been sitting with you a little bit too. If you've been feeling, I don't want to say lonely per se, but if you've been having a couple different nights where you're like, I'm just sort of evaluating where I've been. I'm evaluating losses. I'm processing grief. It doesn't make me depressed or sad per se, but I'm processing it to avoid that from happening. You're looking at where you came from and where you're headed, and you're realizing that you're on the precipice of something great. And it, I think what he's trying to say here essentially is that whenever we level up, we go through a grief process, and we're never, ever talking about that, ever. I don't even think we're allowed, especially here in America, to talk about going through something great and feeling sad about it, because there's this attitude here of like dog eat dog and instant gratification and count your blessings and toxic positivity and smile, and it's like this amount of immense change that you've gone through and where you're headed, you can feel it energetically, is such a difference. I don't want to say it's a discord, but it is such a difference that it's causing you to sit a little bit more and just breathe and just process and just be like, yeah, I'm good. Everything's okay. Everything is right as it should be right now. And I'm going to take a final look around at where I am and who I've been and what I've done and who I've known. And I'm just going to show some appreciation for that part of me, for those people, for those situations, for everything I've learned. And I'm going to alchemize it as I go forward. I'm going to continue to learn from it, but it's processing a little bit. He's with you in those moments. He said 4 nights you sat there. I don't think you intended to, I think you sat down to watch a TV show or something and have a snack or eat your dinner. I don't think you intended to go deep. I think you intended to do the opposite, honestly. It's almost like, I'm going to have some mindless downtime, and the next thing I know, I'm not even watching this. I'm just sort of thinking, vibing with myself. I think just know he's with you every step of the way, okay? And he's really, really proud of you and like living vicariously through you. He's excited for you. Mel Subi, he loves you very much. Mel Subi said, thank you so much, and thank you, Grandma. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, and thank you, Grandma. TikTok over here for Velocity, aka Vanessa. I had final interviews for a job on March 27th. Well, I get the job. I actually think that you will. Now, I have sandwiched in between here 2 jobs that you don't get. And that could be frustrating because it almost gives me this sense of like, I applied, they said it was available, this looked real, I went through interview processes, and how, I don't know, questioning, was there something suspicious going on there? So I'm trying to make sure that I read this right, because you didn't give me like any details on the, different names or companies or anything like that. So I'm just going by what I'm getting here. But it feels like you could be sandwiched in between a couple pauses or rejections. And this one seems to hit, is how that feels to me. I would say like, oh, well, it technically falls in a free will zone and there are too many hands in the pot for me to give a guarantee, and this could change at any time. But I don't really feel that happening here. Is it true? Does it fall in a free will zone? Yeah, you have free will. All the people in charge of hiring have free will. There's a lot happening here. It's true, but I would really highly doubt that this will change. Because unlike the other situations where it was presented as though it was a fixed situation, this actually is a fixed situation. There's something about the speed of getting you in there too. It's like get the paperwork done. Get her paperwork out of here. Get her paperwork ran through. That's what it is. It's get it filed, get it ran through, get it approved, get it in here, lock it in. So there's speed and fluidity. Yeah, and somebody really liked you. I have a guy who really liked you. I have maybe a middle-aged lady, or I don't know. So she carries herself like very mature anyways. A lady, they really liked you. It has a lot to do with your work experience in regards to, I can tell if this was your last job or the one just before. There's something also about your experience that really nailed it for them, where they were like, this is all we need. This is exactly what we need. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Just be careful. Don't let them put extra stuff on you. Let me put it this way. They see a lot with you. you put certain things on your resume and you present in a certain way and they ask certain questions, right? And then they see ding, 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 like a jackpot with you. 5 different things that they could use you for. And you see yourself as like 2 or 3. And this is the problem sometimes, is that we don't see ourselves clearly. We don't see ourselves as others see us. And so you can be in an environment for a while and it's like everything's going great. And then they start piling it on. Okay. They start to get you to do other stuff. And it's like, that's not wrong. It's not bad. It can be expansion, but you got to get paid. You got to make sure you're getting paid right for all that. Okay. All right. So it feels like a congratulations to me. In the event that, you know, something crazy does happen, because technically this is free will, I still see you being sandwiched. So we do have a yes in between a couple no's. So then it would be the very next thing coming up that you would get. All right, let's move on to another one. Who else do we have coming in here? This is for CJG. Okay. What message does Spirit have for me today? All right, a general message. Spirit, do you have a message for CJG? Keep your chin up, your eyes open, plug your ears. And don't address things that aren't yours. Plug your ears. So I feel like Spirit wants to remind you that you need to be keeping your chin up right now, which can be symbolic of feeling low or heavy and feeling as though you aren't doing as great a job as you can, or that the turnout on your life isn't exactly as you had hoped. Or in situations, it doesn't have to be like your whole life, but in some situations, this could be relationship. This could also be job related. Take it how it resonates, apply it where it belongs. But there's this sense of like defeatist. It's like, well, I am letting that affect my self-esteem, or I'm feeling like I always get the short end of the stick, or I feel like I'm in a patterned way of living where things are always okay or just good enough or good for a little while, but like don't last. So it's this defeatism, not necessarily that you're being defeatist, but you're recognizing patterns. It's not a crime. It's your job right on earth to be like, this is the same shit on a different day. You know what I mean? Like, this is happening again. Like, how is this happening? I think, though, you're getting into the deep waters where it's like, why is this happening? And we kind of want to stay out of that. All right. So just keep your chin up and just know that it is part of a process, part of a cycle. And it does feel like you're coming out of a cycle. You may also be looking at some work-related stuff or money, resources, shared income, things like this. Banks, institutions, employers, work contracts, right? And you may be like, this isn't moving fast enough. Or I'm worried this won't move. Or I'm worried this will be an area that, like other areas of my life, goes forward and goes well for a while and then falls flat. Don't think that way. Keep your chin up, okay? This is also where I think Spirit's saying to you, keep your eyes open, because you have a couple different things going on around you right now, and that is like deception, people who are jealous, people who want to bring you down, hold you down, extract from you, steal your energy, drain you, okay? The vampires are about. Just be very mindful that you keep your eyes open for opportunities and for what the universe is showing you about your own development, spiritual development, self-development, right? Identity, your place in the world, your skill set, how you're being more appreciated. There's a lot coming up here. What is the universe showing you? Also about experiences you've had in the last, I would say 5 to 7, maybe even 8 years, mostly 5 though, and 2. The universe is piecing it together for you. It's kind of like on those days when you start getting final pieces of the puzzle and it all comes together and you're like, aha, I'm having an aha moment about this. Okay, so try to stay centered in your brain and just listen when you're driving and walking to what the universe is showing you. Also, this idea of plugging your ears means there are more people around you and situations coming around you to distract you, to take your focus away from where it ought to be. Okay, which is on your growth, your development, your well-being. And these could be people who are trying to bring drama into your life, who are in total discord with themselves. And so they want to spew that out onto you or get you to listen to their stories. Okay. And that's just engagement. Like basically plugging your ears. What spirit means here is just like, don't engage by even paying attention to it. Okay. At all. All right. Thank you, CJG. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have next? If you guys are tuning in late, this is my Ask Ivy show where you could drop a question of any kind and a $10 donation, and we will get to you. Diana, my beautiful producer, is taking your questions from TikTok and Instagram and putting the directions in the comment section there, or you can come over to YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium. That is the best place to support me, you guys. If I could please get you, because TikTok is crippling out my account. I don't know if anyone on there noticed. Probably not, because you can't even see, but they didn't run any of my videos for days. And this has been happening, honestly, since the new ownership. All they do is destroy my channel all the time. I keep it at this point just to give good exposure to other channels as they take my channel down. Okay. And the best way, again, to support me is here on YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium. So hit that subscribe button. We are going to move on to another one. Could everyone also give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment of any kind, share this video, and let me know where you're tuning in from. And please, if the reading resonates with you, give feedback. Thanks so much, everybody. Shauna Dempsey is up next. Shauna just wants a general message, a general reading. Shauna Dempsey, general message. Wow. So I just went deaf in the left, and I feel like I've got a lot to say. What this means for you is that you are currently receiving an awful lot of mediumship, an awful lot of messaging coming through from spirit, letting you know what to do, how to think about things, having a shift in perception, where to set better boundaries, where you are now doing the work and setting healthy boundaries, making sure there's loyalty and reciprocity and you're getting paid back, and analyzing that current state up against where you were, where you have been, how you used to think, what you used to tolerate, what you used to be entirely blind to even. Okay. And being like, I've changed. I've changed a lot. Now, because you've been doing this work, it feels like you have some blessings coming in around the bend, 5 months, 7 months, but those are all connected. So it's like 5 to 7 months, like that span right there, the 2-month span. And then 9 months, it peaks again. Something happens in the 10th month too, which could also be October. So take it out, resonates. I mean, but I was counting out 10 months from now is how I took it, where you have a significant level up. Okay. And all of this is going to bring more money, more abundance, better partnerships, but possibly with it may come a feeling of isolation or disassociation from old relationships. This could also be family members, but I was going to say old relationships in general, where you used to feel like there was fluidity or there was positive transfer. Now it's feeling like I don't identify with those people anymore. The tides have turned and the vibe is shifting, and you're ready to ride that wave. You're ready to go along with it. You don't want to be held down or held back in any way. And you don't want to create these fictitious connections that you have to really work to maintain. It's like, if it doesn't fit, I'm just going to keep riding this wave over here. You know, it's like everyone can't come with you. That's what this looks like. Everyone can't come with you. And I think that it's important at a place like this where you're about to level up. Your message is not dissimilar to Edgar's message, where it's like, when you're about to level up, you sometimes just need to take a pause on where you are and look at like where you've been. Okay. And then it's like, here's where I am. I'm taking one last final look around before I go. And this time around, you may feel like you're going on your own quite a lot. Okay. And that's okay. That's fine. That's normal. There is going to be a lot of increased mediumship though, as you go about this journey. And it already started like the last 3 months. My ear was ringing. I went deaf in the left, literally. That is an intense tinnitus system. Now, that's not to say that you have it. I think you probably do, but and I'm talking about clairaudience. I'm not talking about the tinnitus. That's just a side effect. But clairaudience is the ability to hear spirit in your head as though it is your own inner voice. And it typically comes with tinnitus or pressure in the ears, an anxiety attack or heart palpitations, and I can't prescribe or diagnose, and random bouts of profuse sweating. It increases also in the bathroom. So our native belief is that the porcelain, earth, water, and mirrors are all conductors of communication with the other side. So like you're brushing your teeth and you're getting messages. You're in the shower and you're getting messages and downloads, and songs are popping in your head. Solutions are popping in your head. Okay, so this is going to be normal for you for quite a while. Thank you so much and good luck with everything. Congratulations. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have next? Again, you guys, actually, I don't think I did say this is unlimited tonight. I can't do it every night, but I can tonight. So you can ask as many questions as you want to. Alicia is next. Alicia says, I'm looking to get HELIC for paid off house to reinvest in more rental properties. Do you see me getting it? And what obstacles do you see? Do I see her getting it? And what obstacles? I do see you getting it. The obstacles appear to be, and there's something about 3 to 4. Well, I heard 3 to 4. Could it be weeks? It could. I was thinking months. Take it out resonates. I heard 3 to 4, but what Spirit wrote on the paper here was between the 4th and the 5th. So, there could be 2 different things going on here, though. Aside from 2 different time frames, but I mean, they're so close together. It's like, I'm not even going to nitpick on this. It's basically within the same time frame. I think what's going on here, though, is that there are 2 different things going on. Like some paperwork has to be, I see a stamp of approval. Okay. You have to get everything in, you have to get everything approved, make sure you are. And then there's something else that comes with almost like an increase. So I don't know if you have to prove also, it's almost like a certain amount. This is counting the cash. This is counting how much. There's talk of increase by 5. Okay. Could it be 5,000 or 15, 50? I may be pushing it with 50, but I don't want to reach on that. There's a 5. Okay. And I also think that obstacles that could come up is kind of what I just mentioned here, which is feeling like not organized, not getting things in on time, not getting the paperwork in, not getting everything verified. People not answering. So it's almost like people not doing their job. Now, can you control that as a potential obstacle? You could be annoying. I think that helps. I don't think you can fully control it, but I do think you can be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil, so to speak. I do think that you can be an incessant nag and follow up. Okay. And it can't hurt. I mean, I think it could actually work. Okay. If you do what you need to do, it just seems like a lot of people like aren't doing their job, or they're not taking timelines seriously, or it's like, well, whatever, it's kind of whatever and whenever. And it's like they're on lunch break again. It's like very frustrating when you can't control the timeline on things like this, because it is time sensitive. But no, I think it's going to work out. And I think that's all you can really do. Dot your I's, cross your T's, get your information in, follow up, nag. Okay. Yeah, looks good. Good luck with that. Shauna Dempsey said, thank you, Ivy. You're so welcome, Shauna. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Look at who else is here. Hello, my beauty. Good morning. How was your nap? She's coming out of her 6-hour nap. Esmeralda Marie Rivera is going to join us. She's not ready yet. She's like, that's enough already. All right. Next up is Manny. Hello, Manny. Good to see you. Manny says, hi, Ivy. Can I receive a message from my guide regarding my psychic mediumship? Ooh. I do have a buildup of energy here in the jaw. Psychic mediumship for you could be a release. I don't want to make this about me. I'll just spit this out real quick. My clients were here earlier, And the one girl at the end of it, because it was like a group reading and it went on like an hour or whatever, the girl at the end of it was like, does this make you tired? And I said, what? I wasn't even sure what she was referring to. She said, does doing this, does this make you tired? And I said, no, I feel awake. I feel alive. I feel good. I said, sometimes I read people who are a drag, you know, who like aren't going to listen to anything I say, and helping them is useless. And it could just kind of bring my energy down. Or if I do too many days in a row where I'm doing like 10, 12-hour days, I said, I can get tired. Yeah. I said, but you know, when I read great people like you and all the spirits that came through are amazing, I said, I feel rejuvenated. I don't feel tired. And that's what I'm feeling for you. That's what I'm seeing for you, is that this is a stage in your psychic mediumship development where you need to understand that you're one of the readers that gets rejuvenated through it. A lot of Reiki practitioners speak on this, and how when they give Reiki, they feel amazing after, because it's intelligent universal energy and it goes where it needs to go. It knows what to do. It's not a lot of heavy labor on the practitioner. But there are other Reiki practitioners who are like, I hate this. And I don't understand why. I'm not connecting with it. I thought it was supposed to feel good. I thought it would feel good to give it. I thought I was going to be kind of getting it. I thought I was going to feel more connected to it. I'm drained. I'm exhausted. They're not doing Reiki. They're doing psychic surgery or other forms of healing. They don't realize that. They started doing Reiki. Reiki was part of it, but it shifted. There are boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. There are means of control that need to be utilized with your brain, with your body, with your energy, okay, with your emotions. And when you learn to master these controls, you will feel invigorated by the work that you do. And it's supposed to be that way. Okay. So I don't know that you have realized yet that when spirits come through to talk to you, yes, a lot of mediums say it drains me, drains the hell out of me. That's why I can only do 3 in a row or 6 for the whole day, or I'm in bed by 5. I don't get that. So, and the way I train my students, they're doing double, triple the amount. The average reader is doing 6 readings before they start to take a nosedive, before their accuracy rate drops, before they're hating it, before they start giving negative messaging, no detail, it gets vague, all the things. My readers are averaging 16 readings up on their 6 before they're feeling tired, or like I need to get rooted and grounded, or like I can't do anymore. And that's just the body. I don't even think that's the work. I think that's just the body. But I had readers last year working my events who were averaging 24 plus readings. Okay. And walking out of there feeling amazing. This is what I'm talking about. There's a right way and a wrong way to do this work. There really is. And I think you're at that place where you need to start acknowledging when you feed it, the mediumship in particular, okay, when you feed it, how good it makes you feel, and sometimes where it can start to drain you and take you in a negative direction, because maybe the spirit is heavy, the atmosphere is heavy, the messaging is heavy, or it wouldn't be, but you just don't know what you're doing. So you're not controlling your mind, your energy level. You're not using discernment enough, okay? That's sort of a, I don't know if that's the kind of message you were looking for with it, but anyways, that's the next step for you, okay? Before we can kind of get more of it, is figure out how to manage what we already have coming in here in the right way. It's very exciting, very, very exciting place you're in right now. Thank you, Manny. Ayana is up next. Ayana, will I be moving this year? And if so, where? Is that the whole question? She didn't give me a comparison. This could be just like anywhere on the planet. No detail. All right. Am I moving and where? All right. You guys include detail, like if you're comparing 2 different countries or states, or, you know, houses, or 2 people, like should I be dating this dude or this dude? Include the first names or initials at least. Like give me something a little more honed in to work with. I can give you a better message if you do that. Is she moving and where? You could move. You certainly could, especially between the 8th and the 9th month. Out from now. And something about 3 months out from now, something's going to happen that makes you feel maybe rattled. Like, I think I'm ready to move. You know, that's all. Nothing catastrophic, just a recognition. I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready to go. And it's not like a question anymore after that point. It's a fact. I'm ready to go. Where does she go? I got West Coast. I got Cali. I've got West Coast. I've got the desert. New Mexico comes up for you a little bit. Mountainous regions also. I don't know if I want to say Montana. I mean, that seems like it's pretty hardcore. Is it? Maybe. I mean, it's up to you, but mountainous regions. It doesn't have to be Montana, but mountainous regions, landscapes. I also get the South with you. And in the South, you have a couple unique opportunities, all wrapped up in one fell swoop. And that is relationships, that's business and money, resource increase, and that's spiritual development, like your soul comes alive. You know, the deep South, I'm from Savannah. I'm familiar with that whole, you know, deep Louisiana, Alabama, the swamps, the gators, the whole bit, you know what I mean? It gets pretty trippy down there. It's a whole new ballpark. And there's something gitchy, a little spooky about the way you can enter into that atmosphere and really blossom. I'm seeing you as like a Spanish moss, weeping willow. And that is also significant of mobility because the water trees, they bend. You know, they bend and they don't break. Hi, are you here? Ezzy agrees with this message, okay? Ezzy approves. So you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, Ezzy. Aww. Esmeralda Marie Rivera, everyone, she's done with her nap. So I think you may choose to go that way. You may have also been there already because I get a little bit of like a kind of going home or a moving about in that space. But you have a few options. And I think that you need to start narrowing down more specifically where you want to be. A lot of it may come down also to job opportunities, but you seem to also be able with work to create more mobility. Like I could take my job anywhere, like this type of a mentality. Okay, good luck with that. Manny is just giving some feedback here. He said, thank you for letting me know where I am right now. I'm looking forward to it. So cool. So cool. All right, Manny, have fun with it. Maraid. Okay. Maraid says, Hi, Ivy. I recently became friends with Nate. What should I expect going forward? A friendship with Nate? What should she expect with Nate? It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I don't know if you guys are looking for something more. He reads as bisexual, but like isn't. I don't know. A lot of people say they're bisexual. It's whatever. I don't care. But it's like saying that and being that are really two different things. You know, I think a lot of people say they're bisexual because they're open to exploring with someone else. And it's like, yeah, but you know, do you think about it? Do you have a drive toward that? Like, is that really where the flavor is for you? Like, and they're like, no, not at all. But like, I would tolerate it. We're not asking what you tolerate or what you would invest in if there was a menage a trois going on. You know what I mean? It's not about that. It's about, in my opinion, it's about like what you're actually really attracted to, you know, what gets you going. And I just don't see it here. So I do wonder if there's a little confusion going on there and again, it doesn't matter, but it might at some point trip you up a little bit and you'll be like, well, you know, is this just a friendship or is this going in a romantic direction? So I see that popping up. I see you guys being attracted to each other, okay, in a nutshell. And there's a lot of chemistry here. What I really like about him is his consistency. If you've been dealing with a lot of people where they are all in and then ghosting, or it presents, your message is a little bit like CJG's earlier, when it's like, I get involved in this situation with this person and it presents as being like a great opportunity to build a friendship, right? A relationship, who knows what, it looks great, feels good. And then it just all of a sudden takes a nosedive because maybe their mask comes off, or, there's some situation where you guys have an opportunity to come closer together and they bail on it, right? Whatever it is, it's not happening here. I like this. I think that the other pitfalls that you have fallen in before feel very much like warning, like you're dealing with new people now, including Nate, and you're like, is that going to happen again? I hope that doesn't happen again. It's like, don't even worry about it. Don't even think about it. Like, leave it in your past, brush that shit off and leave it behind in the dust. Okay. All those people were dysfunctional. You just didn't see it right away. He's not. So it's not an issue. It's a non-issue. I do think that what you're recognizing with him, and part of the reason he's come into your life, is to show you what consistency looks like and what someone who's actually motivated to be around you looks like. Because he's very like, where's Maraid? Like, in his brain, I hear like, where's Maraid? I want more Maraid. Give me another bowl of Maraid. And it's like you're in his head somehow. So I don't know how much you guys have been talking, but it seems like in the right places at the right times. I mean, enough that you've gotten into his vibe, like his energy, like his aura. You're in his energy field. You're like telepathically in his head, sort of just, and I don't mean that by like you getting in his head deliberately manipulating him. I have to fix this thing on this puzzle on TikTok, but I mean more like he is thinking of you in such a way where things that you've said, things that you've pointed out, your perception, whether it be like your perception on life, your perception on this topic, your perception on this game, your perception on, I don't know, current events, politics, whatever. It's like your perception is adding to his. It's causing him to think. He's intrigued. He's stimulated. When someone can be stimulated by another person, it's almost like an infiltration into their brain, right? And so, I mean, I think this is like really good chemistry. It's almost like this is chemistry at its best. I think that the other thing with him is that you want to be playful, yeah, but allow the conversations to get deep when they want to. So you may have been in a lot of situations lately too, where you're like, this is shallow, or this is stalling out, and you just want more depth, and it's almost like he takes you into the deep waters as he agrees. Okay. So go deep, get weird. It's awesome. I like it. I also think, it's very early, so like we don't want to take anything too seriously, but like this is good company. I really like his stability. It's like, God, finally, what the hell, He's like a normal person. He's a normal person. All right, thank you, Maraid. Have fun with that. We're going to move on to another one for CJG tonight. When will my finances improve? CJG. When will her finances improve? 3 months. And then between the 6th and the 7th month, we have a leveling up going on here. And then between the 9th and the 10th month, you have an investment opportunity if you take it. So this is a lot of like, will she do it? Will she take it? How will she move? How will she play her hand? These are opportunities. I do think at the 3-month mark, it is a guarantee. So on that one, I'm not going to say it's up to what you do. That's coming. That's destiny charted. However, these other ones, which are in part based on what happens at 3 months out from now in that increase, these other ones are going to require, especially the one between 6 and 7 months, quite a lot of effort from you. A lot of, I almost get this feeling of like nose to the grind time. Like I'm hustling, you know, I'm going to pound this thing out. This could also be the creation of something, almost like a project, and it just has to be created, right? So it starts peaking at 6 months, but it really levels up at the 7th month. And that's if you put in the work. And it's a play off of some of the benefits that come in at 3 months. Then we've got another one between 9 and 10 months. Now, the other one out from now, between 9 and 10 months, you have the option at 10 months out to be looking back, even at the previous month, and saying, oh my God, my life has changed so much. All my circumstances are different. Even I myself feel different. This is pretty dramatic. And that also comes with quite a lot of hard work. I feel like starting about 5 months ago even. So it's like I'm plugging away and plugging away and plugging away. And finally, here comes my payout. So keep it up. But there is a final twist on that one where there's some type of investment, Spirit said, that needs to happen. An investment in this situation could be like you investing in a new title for yourself, research, putting your money where your mouth is, investing your energy, your time, okay, all of that. And there seem to be some partnerships. I don't want to go off on a tangent. I do need to wrap this one up, but there seem to be some partnerships going on in between here as well, where it's almost like you're looking at some people and they're saying like, come work with me or let's work together. And you're like, yeah, I think I should. But you're also like, how much, in what way, you know, to what degree, what is mine, what is others, what is in the contract details. It's almost like figuring out the details. Okay. And so that is also something you'll need to pay attention to with 2 people in particular along the way. But it's good. It's coming. It's coming. Hold steady. I heard you're eating. So, you know, and like Spirit's not belittling you, but, or your concern, belittling your concern, but it's like you are eating, you know, you are eating. Spirit speaks in riddles like this. What does that mean? Well, count your blessings. And I'm not big on toxic positivity or bloom where your planet, or, you know what I mean? Always have a positive. No, but you are doing the work and it is coming. And it is important sometimes to feed law of attraction, manifestation. What is in motion stays in motion. Feed positive energy with positive energy. I'm eating. I have dinner tonight. A lot of people don't. I'm sleeping in my bed, not a freaking car, not on the sidewalk. Okay. I have air in my lungs, my feet work, my hands work, everything works. Can you make a list of 10 things, okay, that you're grateful for right now? And it's like, just keep doing that. Do it over and over and over and over again. Every time you start to drop and be like, oh, things aren't where I want them to be. Nope. I'm shifting out of that. I'm shifting back into the higher vibration. Okay. Maraid said, LOL. Thank you, Ivy and Esmeralda. I love how she shows up to confirm very specific messages. Because you guys will notice she just do it all the time. It's certain people, certain messages, bringing a point home, alerting you to something that maybe you would maybe ignore. Okay, so funny. Shauna said, thank you, Ivy. You're so welcome. Maraid, you're welcome. Shauna, you're welcome. You guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay, give this video a thumbs up. Share it. Okay, and subscribe. And if you really want to support me, go over to YouTube at AskIvy the Medium and hit that subscribe button. Please also hype this video if you are already on YouTube. Manny said, thank you for letting me know where I'm at right now. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, I think we already saw that one, Diana. That's good. Yes, you're welcome, Manny. YouTube, Ayana, for is the job promotion still coming for me and when? Okay. Ayana, is the job promotion coming and when? Yeah, I think it depends. It seems like you're in between a lot of things. It's kind of like, do I want this? Do I not want this? You know, you may be giving off a lot of like half in, half out energy. The way you're speaking to the universe, you know, it's almost like I want something, but I don't really know exactly what. You want to be careful when you're manifesting something that you are oddly specific. Okay. I like to compare manifesting anything to, Cat's eating my homework over here. I like to compare manifesting things like this to going on Amazon and being like, oh, I want face cream. Okay, you can't just say that. You have to be like, for what ingredients, what brands. Then we look at price points. Then we look at companies, and we, decide who will actually get it sent and make sure, it's quality, a quality experience. Like there are so many details you need to start giving to the universe to make sure that the universe isn't giving you this kind of willy-nilly half-assed answer, Ayana. Okay. Get a notepad and pen out and be detailed in what you want and what you even want after you get what you want. Like, be detailed. I do feel like it's coming in for you, though. There's talk of 2 weeks out from now. There's talk of it. And then it seems to hit potentially at 3 or 5. Okay. I read that more as months, 3 months and or 5 months. There's also somebody getting out of the way at 2 months. I wonder if this hinges on whether they get out of the way. I mean, I'm like, can we get them out of the way? We probably shouldn't go there. Can we get them out of the way? I think there's someone who's in the way and doesn't belong there anymore and is like sucking up the opportunities and the energy and bringing things down, and they're going to be removed. All right. And that'll get things flowing a little faster. So you do your part on any blocks. You don't really have a lot of blocks, but you could do better, okay, with your manifestation. And this block will get removed. And that's natural. You could just manifest it in the meantime. Like anyone or anything that's in the way, move it. Okay. Thank you. Good luck with all of that. We're going to move on to another one. Vanessa Dempsey said, my dad, Alan, passed away 3 years ago on the 28th, January, February, March, 28th. Does he have any messages and advice for me? Okay, Alan. I'm so sorry for your loss, Vanessa. Let's see, Alan. I feel like you've been sleeping better. And he takes some credit for that. I don't know if you got a new pillow or what, but it almost looks like, those therapeutic pillows. You can get them at I'mGettingOld.com. I've got a couple. Therapeutic, something osteopedic. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but it's almost like maybe get yourself some new pillows, if you were having trouble sleeping. But it feels like you're sleeping well. I'm liking my pillow and I'm sleeping longer. I'm waking up without neck cramps and a backache and a crick and you know what I mean? It's like, I feel good. It's like, I feel rejuvenated. And, you may start getting into this phase where it's like, I'm feeling better. Sleep is the best restoration for our bodies. It's better than any type of medication. It's better than any food you can eat. It's better than any walk you can take. Sleep is amazing. And it's like, you're looking better. You're feeling better. And he's like, I did that. So you're like, this pillow is amazing. He's like, it's not that. It could be in part that, but I do feel like he's been visiting you in a lot of dreams, and he's been making sure, whether he's there in the dreams or he presents or not, making sure that you're well rested, because you've had a lot on your mind. I also feel like you've taken some significant losses 5 years ago, between 5 and 6 years ago, like around 2 to 3 years ago, this past year, or something about 9 months ago even. I mean, it feels like you've taken some hits, and these can cause you stress. You've done a really great job. He's real proud of you learning how to shut your mind off and saying to yourself, I'm not going to feed that emotionally. I'm not going to think about that anymore. I'm not going to think the worst. But you still have a regular amount of stress and grief, and things that need to be processed. And let's face it, that shit comes up at night. It just does. That's the human condition, right? Subconscious brain, it's going to process things in the sleep state at the worst possible time when you need that rest, that recouping, that energy. And it's like you're sleeping like a baby. Okay. So just know he's been working on getting you more of this, resting and relaxing. He's also talking about more fun. Maybe you do like your drinks. Okay. But it's almost like, I'm going to have this drink and I'm going to go out and I'm going to get a little tipsy and I'm going to go to the hoedown. It's like, I'm going to party. I'm going to do-si-do right around you here. And you know what I mean? To the bar to get another one. I don't know. It's very like, very like I'm in my atmosphere. I'm around my people. This is my vibe, you know? As he agrees, Is that your thing? I'll get you a cowgirl hat. We'll strap it on. Come on up here. Come on up. I think that it's important for you to create more fun for the next 4 months where and he'll be there with you every single time. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic. It can just be like, I don't know, I'm going out to this new country bar and I'm having, a drink or two, it's very simple, but uplifting. Keep feeding that uplifting energy. Also, something about reading books. He's putting books on your path, books, research, education, classes. He's putting things on your path that he wants you to do because it helps you to connect to your higher self more, but to him more. Leaving you pennies. Also, watch for pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, tokens, and he'll be contacting you on the clock later. I see like a 333 or a 311 or an 1111 make a wish or 3 ones, or you know what I'm saying? Number patterns. Okay. And he knows that you love him. Yes, he knows that you miss him and he loves you too. So I'm always right here. I'm always right here. I'm always right here. The dog. It's a dog. The dogs see him. Okay. Thank you. I also feel like you honor him really. I don't know if you put something on the like memorial space, or it's almost like, thank you for keeping a candle lit for me. Maybe you do something special for him in his memorial space. This could be in your house. It doesn't have to be at the site, but you never forget, and he wants you to forget. He does. He wants you to let it go so those days aren't heavy. But it's a little too soon, I think, to expect that. And he knows how much you love him. That's all he wants to say. He knows how much you love him. He knows, and I love you. Thank you. I am sorry for your loss, Vanessa. We're going to move on to Novella Riverol. When will I find a romantic relationship? Novella, romantic relationship. Well, I'm here. They're just everywhere. Okay. It's just everywhere. It's all around you. So this can mean that you're pretty good looking. This can mean that you got it going on. This can mean that maybe, when you got it going on, people don't say anything to you. Attractive people, we know this statistically, never get asked out. They're never approached. And you may give off a certain vibe, like, how do I want to say this? Don't take this the wrong way, but you may give off a vibe like, I have a roster, or I could pick and choose, or they're a dime a dozen, or like, I could be flighty, or since I have my pick, I'm not going to take you seriously. Now, it isn't because you're trying to give that vibe, but you do give off a lighthearted, sort of high vibrational, a little flighty energy when it comes to relationships or romance. You're actually a very serious person. You have a lot of depth and empathy and, okay, all the things. But, people like to be in control. And so you have possibly attracted the wrong type up until now, where they would rather control you or dominate over you or snuff out your light, or they don't like that you have other options. They want to be the only option, right? There's, I think, a cleansing you need to do with all of that. So maybe have a ceremony with yourself where you write down all the things from the past that you don't want to attract anymore, and make an opposing list and end with that higher vibrational list. Write down 15 things you want to attract in a love partner. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told somebody else about. I don't remember what it was. You're not very specifically manifesting anything with the universe. You're kind of like, I'm open. Never ever tell the universe you're open for anything. Okay. You're just going to get everything, like a floodgate. It's like, again, the example I was using earlier with the other person was, it's like going on to Amazon and being like, I need cream. You don't need cream. You need a specific kind of face cream that will help with like wrinkle control. And you know what I mean? You want to be able to use it in the PM and you want it from a certain company. You have to get specific on what you're ordering from the universe, or you will just be sent any old raggedy ass thing. And that's what's been happening. So the ability to do something as powerful as create a ceremony where you release from the past, and you take just paper and a pen and you write down 15 things that you are claiming to you in a love partner, put it in an envelope, put it away. Okay. And wait to receive. I'm going to put it that way. I do, though, think already, without even any of that, I think that you are surrounded by people who are options, who are attracted to you. Okay. Who are close enough in your vicinity that you could be getting into a romantic partnership with them. But I think you want something a little more stable, a little more serious. I don't think you're looking for just like a fling right now. And that's something you are going to want to be, careful of. I think if you do these things, you could be looking at somebody coming in closer to you. I want to say as soon as 2 weeks. Well, 14 days is 2 weeks. I'm hearing 14 days. It's like 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. You have more options coming in at 3 months and then 7 months. Something changes between 7 and 8 months out from now. That could mean that you're picking one of these people. Okay, you're kind of locking it down a little bit. Monogamy, perhaps. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's coming in. Right now is the time. You're asking at the right time because it's definitely flowing toward you. But you got to raise that bar and get more specific for sure. Vanessa said, thank you, Ivy. Oh, this is for Vanessa. We channeled Alan, her father, who passed on the 28th. So it's his passing anniversary. So Vanessa said, thank you, Ivy. Yes, he has popped in the last few dreams. There you go. That is not a coincidence. Okay. Yes, I posted on Facebook pictures of him. Oh, I love that. He's so grateful. You guys have such a sweet relationship. It's really refreshing. Really refreshing. He's a good dad. He's a good person. So are you. Sprinkle Chaley. So Chaley. Chaley said, thank you so much. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Susanna Cruz 9904 said, good evening, Ivy. I finally broke up with my boyfriend, Jose, a few days ago. I hope it's done for good. Do you have any messages for me about my healing journey? Well, first of all, don't leave it open. Don't leave that door open. Because the way you say this, is it done for good? It's done if you choose for it to be done. And that's what you need to do, is be done. If you leave the door open, like, will it come back around? Will he come back around? Will I go through this again? Are we going to go run that mountain again? Are we finished? Does the universe want it to be finished? Hell yeah, the universe wants it to be finished. Your higher mind wants it to be finished. Now you need to make the decision that it's finished. Ending things with him, it doesn't make it done. When he starts trying to come back around, you make it done. When he tries to get back in, you make it done. When he's sneaking in your dreams and trying to reattach that cord, you make it done. Okay? So set that boundary, keep it set, hold the line, and then we can get on to the healing part of your journey. So it starts with your mind shift, which hasn't happened yet clearly, just even in the way you ask this question. Okay? You are energetically done, but you're definitely not in your heart or mentality done. Okay? I think that you need to start the healing journey by working on those key areas. You should be prepared for him to act like Mr. Machismo and like he doesn't care and like, I don't even remember your name. You know what I mean? Like, you should expect him to react that way for a brief period of time. I don't think this is 8 days. I think this is 8 weeks. Someone like him isn't going to come right back at you immediately. Someone like him is going to lay low. He's going to stalk. He's going to energetically try to reconnect. He's going to telepathically, like, try to pull and tug at your energy. So he's going to be popping in your head all the time. He's going to be showing up in your dreams. He's going to be using astral travel. He's basically going to try to energetically weasel his way back in to get you to reach out to him or to want him back. And when he realizes that won't work, because that's I have no worry, that's not going to work with you. Like, you're so far beyond that. But then he pops in and he reappears. So he could be like showing up in your dreams and things like this, and then he reappears with some bullshit offer. And that's where you're going to need to put your foot down by, like, not responding. This does feel like one of those breakups that needs to be no contact, because there's no genuine, authentic attempt at returning. It's all manipulation. Okay. So the other major part that your relationship guide and your joy guide watches over your mental and emotional well-being. The one major thing they want you to start paying attention to is that the minute, like a light switch, you broke up with him, you started to feel better. Your health is increasing, your energy is increasing, your mind is clearing, brain fog is lifting. You're becoming a whole new person. You know, give it a couple weeks. You're going to look in the mirror, you're going to look 10 years younger, right? Your skin's going to be glowing. You're like, everything is going to increase for you, right? Opportunities, other relationships, just people being nicer to you, the universe giving you love, your money. Okay. Everything's going to increase for you. And that's where you can identify that he was dragging you down. He was a block to your blessings. And I think, quite frankly, that's going to be the real motivation for you to be like, I'm out, you know, making a beeline to my better life. This is not, you know, this isn't where it's at. It's going to be real hard because he was sucking the life out of you. It's going to be real hard for you to even think about ever going back to someone like him or him, you know, soon, but it can take a couple months. Wow. Good for you. This feels pretty amazing. You guys, I'm feeling your energy tonight. My God, a lot of changes going on. This is real good. A lot of people dumping what's been weighted and in the way. Love it. Okay. Kudos, Susanna. Keep going. All right. Let's move on. Who else do we have? Edgar said, do you see my job, Starlight, offering me a new job position in April of 2026? Starlight for Edgar. Now that's how you ask a question. That's good. Okay. Starlight. Look, I got the name of the company. I got a time frame. Offering me a new job position in April 2026. My supervisor, Vanessa, okay, I got another name, is aware that I'll be finishing my clinical hours in April and that I'm keeping my options open for the job opportunities at Starlight or with other employers. Okay. So Vanessa, is that what he said her name was? Go back real quick. Where did I get that name? Vanessa. Okay. So Vanessa knows. Vanessa knows you are keeping your options open. Will they offer you a higher position? They will. I think they will. Technically, this falls in a free will zone. Many hands in the pot. Okay. They dictate this. They can make a liar on me at any time. I highly doubt it. I would put money on this one. This is like an 85% guarantee that this is going to go through. And yes, at that time that you're asking, or just shortly after, like within, I heard 3. I don't think this is 3 months. I think this is 3 weeks, but take it out resonates. And again, that's all falling in the free will zone. So that could move slightly, but I do think that there's a concrete conversation or a meeting or actual sitting at a table and looking at contracts happening around that time where they want to make very clear to you, and this is what you need to know, that they want to make very clear to you that they want to keep you there and they will do what it takes to keep you there. Now they're going to act like they're broke. Like what's going to keep you there? Pizza day? What do they think is going to keep you there? So stupid. But like, regardless, okay, regardless, the gesture is there. They want to make very clear that they will do what it takes to keep you there. And you just need to come back and be like, you can pay me to keep me here. That's exactly what you can do, because I'm more than happy to be here. I am so excited to keep on with this company and keep building, you know, as a team, whatever. I think that they may have to compete. There may be another place, but I do think you should also take seriously other advancement opportunities and what you're looking for long term. Yes, at this other place that can compete, but here also, because let's face it, you got a lot of leverage now. You know, you got a lot under your belt. You got names to draw. I mean, you've got it, well, we'll see what you decide to do. I mean, that's going to fall in your free will zone as well, obviously. But I do think you have options, and I do think they will offer it right around that time. And I do think that they probably won't be making a liar out of me today. Probably not. No. Okay. And it's not just Vanessa who knows this. Like, they've known. So you must have said something to some other people, two other people, a male and a female, and they all talk. So they know this is already set. Like, this has already been coming, you know? Yeah, kudos. Enjoy it. Congratulations. I do believe are in order for that. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have coming up next? Mackenzie Mooser. Oop, I think I don't know what that was. Susanna Cruz is just giving some feedback. Okay, so Susanna finally got away from her boyfriend, Jose, and she's just giving feedback on the reading. Yes, very true. I definitely need to focus on my health and my happiness. He for sure sucked the life right out of me. I am done with him, and I will do my best to keep him away. He's a loser. Thanks. Yeah, you know, something else I would 100%. I would encourage you to do, like, don't wait until it gets bad. Susanna, don't even wait for him to start the bullshit. Showing up in your dreams, popping in your head, pulling and tugging at your energy telepathically, right? All the things. Don't even wait for him to start playing the energetic stalking games. Go onto my website if you don't know how to do a cord cutting, okay? Go onto my website. It's a class called Relationships, Boundaries, and Cord Cutting, and just do it right away. Do it immediately, okay? And do it again with any parts of yourself that fed that problem for so long. Just don't even wait for the drama. It's not worth it. Reclaim your energy in an energetic, powerful way. I'm so happy for you. Jessica Watt said, hi, Ivy. Hi, Jessica. Good to see you. Mackenzie Mooser. Okay, so this is another one for Mackenzie. What's going on, Mama? What are you complaining about? We love you. We want to see you. We want to see you. Mackenzie Mooser said, I'm just curious from the question earlier, since I'm the one who is blocked, will Chandi try to come back into my life this year? Uh-oh. Problems, huh? Problems? Ezzy doesn't care for this one. I think that it's a guarantee that he tries to come, you know, back into your life. And I think that he will come back into your life with the same nonsense he brought before. He is looking for ways to make you submissive. He's looking for ways to make you feel like you desperately need him or want him, or he can, through a system of creating proximity, closeness, intimacy, and then dropping you, blocking you, walling you off, cutting you off, abandoning you, detaching from you, becoming emotionally unavailable. He has created a system of what we call positive intermittent reinforcement, or I think I said it wrong, intermittent positive reinforcement. It's a trick. It's a con. He's been using it. He'll continue to use it. He knows it works. It does work. It's the way the TikTok algorithm works. It's the most successful app, right? Google it. What is intermittent positive reinforcement, and how do certain people use it to manipulate and get control on others? It's what he plans to use in getting you back And that would come through like right now, not reaching out or not coming around or not really, you know what I mean? Just being unavailable. Almost this energy right now with his vibe is like blaming you. It's like he's blaming you. It's like he's punishing you. It's like you're bad. Okay. You're probably bad in his eyes because you asked for something like respect and stability and the basics, right? How dare you? So you asked for something, and that was a blow to his ego, because it also showed that you can leave at any time. You know, you will leave at any time, but it reminded him that he's not in control. He likes to live in an delusional world of ego, where it's like, I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the master. And so, yeah, I think you'll hear from him. I do, when he's ready and very confident that you are desperately wanting to hear from him. And then he'll come in and he'll present as a new person. He'll present as a friend. He'll present kind. He'll present soft. He'll present affectionate. He'll present as though he's really been missing you. And then he'll try to drop kick you. Okay, let's move on to another one. Susanna Cruz says, I will do it now. Thank you. Yes, you're so welcome, Susanna. Absolutely. Cord cutting, for anyone who needs it and doesn't know how, that's a class up on my website, Relationships, Boundaries, and Cord Cutting. But if you have your own style of doing it, I would just highly suggest that with whatever style you use, whatever ceremony you use, don't forget to do a full cleanse, a letting go, a forgiveness. You're not forgiving the other person per se for their terrible behavior, but you're letting it go. You're not letting it affect you anymore. Cleanse out before you do the cord cutting, okay? Because that really does seal the deal on it. We are going to do last call. So if anyone else wants to ask their question at this time, drop your $10 donation. Get your question in. Do include the first name or the initials of whoever or whatever it is that you're referring to. And if you prefer to get a private reading, go onto my website, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com. There is something for everyone up there, and I do work internationally. We're going to move on to another one. This is for Edgar. Edgar said, what messages does Spirit have for me regarding April? Isn't it April? No, it's going to be April. Looking forward to the month and finally finishing my hours at the end of the month. Okay. Any messages for Edgar about April? I heard do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. That's an old song. That's before my time. Get down tonight, do a little dance, make a little love. I think it's disco, right? The Bee Gees? I have no idea. Anyways, there's this, it's time for you to party. It's time for you to relax. It's time for you to kick back. It's time for you to have some fun. In particular, the second and the third week of April. So while this is a suggestion from your guides that you do this, I also think it's going to come through invitation in several ways. So people may be inviting you. This is so boring and adulty, but people may be inviting you into more like prolonged conversations, deeper conversations, right? Deeper levels of intimacy, more sharing, more fun, more silliness, right? And for an adult, that's like getting high. I mean, that, you know, it could have gone unnoticed in high school, but you're like, yeah, it was fun. I had fun talking to this person, fun talking to you, you know, it's very simple. So there are some like lighter, more adulty things coming in. And then there are some like literal invitations, like, you know, through people or through like suggestion. I mean, this could even be stuff popping up on your, I heard your For You page, which is just in my symbol base, like your feed. But like targeted ads, you know, targeted ads, these are things that are coming up trying to get you to go. It's like, go. Have fun, go on that hike, go on that outdoor excursion. You may be connecting more with nature during that time as well, but going out and engaging. Okay, so you're supposed to have fun the second and the third week in particular, and that's an order. And I do feel like maybe the third or the fourth day of the second week of the month, somebody talks to you about an opportunity. an investment, asking you if you are ready to invest. So yeah, an opportunity. This could be resource related, career, financial related. I feel good about that. You may also, this keeps coming up and I'm like, is there more to the message? It's like a road trip. It's like a road trip or travel, or do I want to book this trip? You could be deciding or debating, I guess, in the month of April on where else you want to go. So it does feel like travel, but it also feels like road trips, like small road trips. You know, I love doing stuff like that. I love working the circuit because I'm just constantly driving around the country and stuff like this, or even in Canada. And it's like, there's always something fun going on, you know, and you just pull over on the side of the road and do like some photography, and you can like go to this cool place I've never been. You can try out this fun restaurant. And it's like, I don't know, there's just all these weird things are always happening when you're on the move, right? And that's what I'm getting off of it. It's almost like I'm not going too far. I'm going just far enough I could go in my car. But I've got that in conjunction with, am I going to take this trip? Am I going to lock this down? Am I going to plan this thing? And it's more like a vacation, or I'm going to have to do, you know, airline travel or something. So we'll see. We'll see what you decide to do with it. But yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up in April. Yay. Have a good time. Okay. I'm a little jealous. Brittany G 3867. Brittany says, I want a general reading, but also to know if my finances are going to be okay these next few months, and if I'll be in my own place soon. Good, pick one of these, okay? Will the finances be okay in the next 3 months? We're going to go with that one. I think so. I think you've already done a lot of the hard work. I think you've already laid the groundwork for this to go pretty smoothly for you. And so it feels like things are working out. It feels like one obstacle is being removed. So if there's a circumstance, a block, an obstacle that's been in the way, and you're like, if this thing would get out of the way, I wouldn't be having any of these problems, really. You know, I think that's accurate. I think it will move. I also think that you've got something more coming in. Now, I do wonder if that comes in because this moves. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't want to reach on this message. The bottom line is it does appear to be working out and getting right. So I also think that it's an important time for you to be more focused. I'm hearing proactive as well, but it's a period of time where you need to be more focused, more proactive on making sure you know exactly where you want to be with your resources, with your career, with the work that you do. Do you have a fire in the belly? Do you feel fulfilled? Is it in alignment with your life contract? Is this really what you're meant to be doing? Because some of the situations you've had, sometimes you feel like, well, I just hit the skids, you know, and it's like, it happens to everybody. Some of the blocks and obstacles are coming from you not having a very clear sense of direction on what your real life contract is, meaning the work you came here to do at this time. Are you in alignment with it? What else you're supposed to be doing, and ultimately also where you want to be, where you want to go. You are constantly looking in the rear view mirror, and money and resources are extremely hypersensitive and affected by that. So looking in the rear view mirror being like, well, this debt, well, this fell apart, well, this thing happened, well, I'm always even Steven, well, these problems, well, this hasn't worked. How can I get out of this? How can I move away from what I have sort of created here, or the things that have happened? How do I get out of it? How do I get out of it? That does not say to the universe, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm worth. I am claiming it, and I am headed in the future. That says you're stuck in the past. It does trigger manifestation in a bad way, okay? In a loop effect. Law of attraction requires, to get the higher vibration payouts, requires that you're in alignment with those higher vibrational payouts, and you will receive repeatedly, which has been the problem here. I'm hearing 6, and definitely for the last 6 months, okay, but possibly for the last few years. You will receive only more, like attracts like, law of attraction, of low vibrational energy, problems, blocks. In your case, it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for here? Uh-oh, I have problems. Money isn't where I want it. And then the universe gives you more problems. And money, again, not where you want it. It just cycles through. That's the best way I can explain it right now because my brain is starting to go. Yeah. Shift your mindset, increase your wealth. Okay? And that's not like some gitchy, stupid thing to say. That's literally for you, the medicine, the remedy. That's literally what you need to be doing. Okay? And accept nothing else mentally. Okay? Feed it, feed it, feed it. We're going to move on to another one. This is for Maraid. Maraid said, hi, Ivy. Will I ever hear from Danny again in the future? We stopped talking and ended our friendship, but I think of him often. Ugh. You know, I don't want to sound like a bitch, but he irritates me. His energy, okay, I know why. Have you ever talked to someone you know you weren't supposed to be talking to and you feel duped because they can pull that shit again? They do you dirty again. No sooner are you in it, they drop kick you. No sooner are you like, yeah, this felt good. I remember why I liked you. I remember, you know, this. I'm glad I'm giving you another chance. Yeah, no, there are good parts. Maybe you have grown. Maybe you have changed. And just for them to like give you a big middle finger, okay, right between the eyes. It's like, that's him. And I don't always know that he's doing it purposefully, but I don't care. I don't care why you did it. I don't care why you didn't do things. I don't care. I don't care. It's like he may have a way of trying to come back around with you and then you feeling like angry at yourself, like son of a bitch, like why did it feels like self, you know, a lot of people, like, I know it's a problem with a lot of people, I guess, lifelong, but it's usually like happens in high school and stuff, like cutting or self-abuse, punching yourself, you know what I mean? It's like you're going to be angry with yourself. And I'm talking deep. This is a trigger, okay? This is a trigger area for you. You need to be careful when he comes back that you don't give him more than what he earned, that you don't let him in more than what he deserves, and that you are constantly on alert for him to be flighty, inconsistent. I heard passive. Take that how it resonates, but it almost reminds me of dealing with someone who's like, well, I don't really care. You don't care? Don't let the door hit you on the way out. You're either going to be here and you're going to give a shit, or you can get the F out of here. You know what I mean? There's this sense of like, I don't really care. I don't really care, or I'm not really going to try. That is as bad, if not worse, as like being just ghosting or inconsistent and just not showing up at all, right? Because it's a slap to the face. It's like, what is he gracing you with his presence? No. Okay. It is inexcusable to be there taking up space in your life and being like a slob. So that word passive is a big red flag and something spirit wants you to analyze a little bit more, I think. I think that you need to prepare for him to come in also, because this is a test karmically. Like, I think you need to prepare and say, let me just pretend this happened already. And I'm just going to play a little game with myself. Let's pretend that he came back and I let him in and I was kind of really enjoying him and trusting and da, 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 da. And I was letting my guard down, giving him another chance. And then, you know, he was shitty or shady with me. And why would that bother me so much? You want to look at why would that bother you so much? You know, you're looking at childhood, you're looking at abandonment wounds, you're looking at codependency issues, you're looking at, I thought I grew, but then I got tested and I clearly haven't finished the work. You know, you're looking at all the triggers and if you could do that ahead of time, you could be better prepared when he does show up to not get those lines crossed. Okay. Yeah, there's work to do here. It's too bad because he has a lot of potential. I guess that's probably also why he annoys me. It's probably why he annoys you, you know, like you're like, you know, this could be such a fun friendship or more. And like, you're so cool, but like, you got to be like that. You got to act like that. He is Peter Pan. He is perpetually a young lad looking to avoid the work. Jessica Watt says, I'm hoping for insight from spirit on the next best steps to help lift my family's financial burden. Okay, Jessica, what steps should she take to lift the financial burden? I heard actually like talk to a financial advisor, but that doesn't mean you have to go, schedule with an accountant or something per se. It could be like watching videos and watching, there's this Asian guy I follow now. He's like the Asian dad, I think he's called, or something on TikTok. And I'm like, this guy's a freaking genius. And I've used some of his tricks. I was like, this can't be legal. It's working. It's working. I feel like I should get caught, but it's like, you need to do a little more research is how this is the first step. So you need to listen to people, you need to talk to people, you need to whatever, even if it is just talking to an accountant and like making an appointment, you need to figure out what more you could do. What tricks do you not know? And there's a lot of wiggle room here for you. I think that some of this could also be moving debt around for you, or moving things around that are like, I don't see bills as debt necessarily. Debt is debt and bills are bills. Okay. But this could also be something like loans or credit card usage and things like this. So things that could turn into debt. I see you moving things around. So more could be done there as well. I also see you needing to invest a bit better. So it's almost like money that you do have, instead of just putting it into like a savings, for example, maybe you're saying, I need to start making a significant amount of money off of this cash that I currently have to put it back, to use it as leverage, to put it back into, okay, our overall resources. So it's almost this idea of like, I'm going to invest in this thing, and then the money I make off of that, I will use that to pay off this debt. Or I'm going to invest in this thing, and the extra money I'm going to make off of that, I'm going to use it to purchase this thing, or to get us into a better position, or to get us into a better contract, or to get us into a better house, or to get us into a better, it's like just using everything. It's like you're not doing what you could. I'm not saying you're not doing anything, but there's definitely some stuff is untapped here. Okay. And this journey begins with doing the research. So just even, like I said, with this guy, I can't remember what his name is. I think it's like the Asian dad, but for example, because I followed him, I start getting all these other channels, and everybody does it differently. Everybody thinks about money, in some structured ways, but they all have these different like tricks that they use. I've never heard of any of this. I grew up, we had to brush our teeth with salt. We couldn't afford toothpaste. I had one pair of shorts one summer. Okay. We had no food. I was starving a lot of the time, or we go for that government cheese, or we'd be in line for the WIC or whatever, you know what I mean? And it was like a field day, you felt like you were rich on those days. I had nothing. And so no one ever talked, no one in my family ever talked about money. Even when people in my family started getting money, no one ever trained us, right, and what it meant. And of course, you're not trained in school, especially here in America. You're never told. You're never told. Trust me, okay? Start having fun with it. Sit back, watch some of these videos, subscribe to some of these channels, and let it come to you. But set the intention right now that you're going to receive, okay, the information you need, and start moving this stuff around. This is good for you. Yeah. But I do think you need to have more fun with it, because your energy is, I said this to someone else earlier. This is like the third time this happened in this show where I'm giving you a message. It's like almost identical to what I gave somebody earlier. Money is affected. Resources are affected, meaning if you're coming from a low level place, they're going to stay away from you, or you're going to attract problems, because law of attraction, like attracts like. What you're manifesting is less. You're manifesting more problems. You're manifesting more blocks, more debt, whatever it is. Okay. Money is sensitive. You want to stay in a high vibration with when you think of money, resources. Okay. How to get out of this and improve upon it. Fun. It's games. Okay. Keep it light. Keep it light. That'll help a lot too. All right. We're going to move on to another one. What else do we have coming in here? Icy Trina said, I am a reserved, quiet person around the workplace or around people my energy doesn't match with. Extroverts seem to hate it and constantly say how quiet I am. Do my guides have any advice? Okay. Icy Trina. So I don't know about your guides, but I have some advice for you. I teach a class called Empathic Awareness. It's up on my website. I train doctors and therapists. I teach this at universities and I train educators. You need to learn where this is coming from. You need to get educated on what it is to be an empath, for you in particular, at the 3rd level, entering into the 4th level. So the 2 highest levels, how it attracts jealousy, suspicion, and it pisses people off because you are a mirror for them. They read your silence as deception. They read your silence as being too good for them. And because they know you clock them, because you do. Someone's lying, you're a human bullshit detector. If someone's off, you know to set a boundary there. Because you clock them, you see them clearly. That's an empathic gift. It's an empathic ability. They want to make sure that they can control you by forcing you to open up energetically, verbally, okay, physically even. If you are open, they can control and manipulate. If you are telling them everything that you think, if they are pelleting you with words and controlling your mind, because words are spells, if they can control your mind by coming at you with information and force you to be there and just accept it, they are pounding you into a place of submission. And when you are submissive, you can't see them clearly. So they think. I remember one of the last times I was around a lot of people, because I had to be for work. And I was around a lot of people who were hating me for my empathic ability. They were jealous. They were grouping together. The one lady was trying to cast spells on me. I have a video coming out about this soon. And they told me, other people in the group told me, she's doing work on you, They freaking hated me because I was doing well and I was minding my own business and I didn't even know. I thought we were all like friends. You don't even know. When you're a high level empath, you don't think that way. You're not hustling anyone. You don't mean any harm, and so you don't know. Like, you're oblivious to that game, to that world. Well, I remember the one girl saying to me, she had me I was sitting in my spot at my table and she came over and she tried to, because I would never go to them. So she came over and she tried to kind of get me kind of cornered a little bit, with a few people there and a few chairs. And she said, I don't remember what I did. I must have gotten up to leave while we were having this sort of chit chat going on, just pleasantries, I guess. But I must have gotten up to leave or something. And she said, Ivy, why don't you stay a little longer? Why don't you? Why do you never just stay a little longer? And I saw like horns when she said that. She was trying to attach to my energy. She was trying to get me to sit still. One thing my ass will never do is sit still, okay, long enough for anyone to be able to do something like that. But it was like she exposed herself. She exposed them. Why don't you just sit still? Why don't you just stay here? Why don't you just let us talk at you? Why don't you just be part of this a little while longer? So the longer you allow people like this, okay, to kind of corner you, to get their claws into you, to drain your energy, to attach to your energy, the worse off you're going to be. And you want to also be careful with people like this. You never let them touch your hair. Again, try not to let anyone touch you physically in any way or sit too close to you if you get bad vibes off of them. Never accept anything they give you to eat or drink, because these are other manipulative tools they use to get into your energy because you're not giving them access. Okay. So it's food, drink, and typically your hair. Or if none of that's working, they'll give you a gift, like an object, and they'll try to put it on your desk or something. Don't accept anything from people like this. Okay. So protect yourself. It's not about you getting them to accept you more. It's about you learning better protection techniques at this stage. Jessica Watts says, I got to watch out for the vampires. Yes. Yes, absolutely. And also in my empathic awareness class, I talk about quite a lot of research that's been done for empaths, where empaths are the #1 group to attract narcissists and sociopaths. Okay, no doubt about it. That's a fact. So just be careful. Nobody should be asking more of you or wanting anything more of you. We should all be living within a vibe that says, like, you can come to me or not. And when people gravitate toward you, then it's safe. You know, if not, you know, bug off. Edgar said, thank you, Ivy, for all the messages. You're so welcome, Edgar. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you. Do we have any more? Camilla said, hi, Ivy. I've been a stay-at-home mom a long time and am about to go through a major change with a divorce, and then I'm going to relocate. Will I glow up or throw up, or both? Let's find out. Okay, Camilla, the divorce, will she glow up? Yeah, I think you already are. I think the minute you decided, you already answered your own question, because I feel like Spirit's almost like, you know, have you looked in the mirror? Like, how are you really feeling? I feel like you're also sleeping better. Now, you are worried about things in regards to like the kids, some changes maybe with schedules and finances and I don't know, contracts. I mean, this could also be like mortgages and things that you're looking at. And that's fine. That's fine. I don't think you're having, though, the type of sleepless nights you thought you might, you know, or you won't be anyways. I think you're going to do just fine. I think that this is a mountain you were climbing anyways. You have now just unloaded a huge bag off your back. He was like a ton of bricks. And you were already carrying the kids. You were carrying the schedule. You were carrying the housework. You were carrying everyone's health. You were carrying everyone's mental health at the sacrifice, right? Sacrificing your own self in order to do that. And he was like, let me ride your back too. He was like a big old sack of bricks on your back, and you were climbing this mountain by yourself. So, you know, it's sort of like at this stage, whether it be financial changes, whether it be a residency shift, you know, you're not doing as much labor even in those things, which, mind you, do rank is high up there on stress. You know what I mean? Like the biggest stressors in life, right, are relocating and divorce and things like this. Like you are dealing, which says a lot, because you are dealing with some of the top 5, but even this pales in comparison to what it is to lug his ass up a mountain. This is a win-win for you. Okay. So it's not that bad. You are already doing it all alone. And then living in a negative karmic kickback cycle in your life where, because you weren't supposed to be entertaining him, you weren't supposed to be with him, you couldn't get any blessings. You couldn't get any healing. You couldn't get any good karma. You couldn't get any real help. You couldn't get any payouts from the universe, because whenever we're entertaining somebody or something that's below us, we're cut off. So not only have you put down that sack of weight, you are receiving, as you continue to go through this divorce, more and more and more and more blessings from the universe and help. So yeah, you're going to be just fine. And the glow up is real for you too. In, I don't know if you want to do something different with your body. Okay. Like this could be hair, and this could be clothes. This could be skin, and it could be all that, but it could also be like weight related. It could be like, your physique. So I don't know if you're like, oh, I want to start, you know, training or building muscle, or, you know, whatever it is. It feels like you're also looking. I mean, the glow up is financial. The glow up is peace in your home. Finally, the glow up is between you and the kids and the relationships. The glow up is you receiving the blessings from the universe and finally being back in alignment. The glow up is all of those benefits, but on the outside, it's like a whole other set of glow up that will lead to some, I think, really interesting opportunities and conversations for you. I love it. I love it. Glow up all the way around. Kudos. Enjoy. Congratulations. I'm sorry for your hardship. Mindy said, should I relocate to a new city? Any city in particular or just Mindy? New city? Should Mindy relocate to a new city? New city for Mindy? I think so. You know, I mean, obviously we want to be selective here. They're not all created equally. But you agree, Mama? She should? Yeah. I think that what you're really recognizing is that your roots are dead. And so whenever I see dead roots on like a tree or a plant, you know, this is symbolic of you just not being able to get any more nutrients out of the earth. Before a tree looks dead, holy cow, I just went deaf in the left. Okay, so before a tree looks dead, the roots are dying and, you know, it's just not, it's not picking up any more nutrients from the earth. And this can be a situation for you here where you're like, I think I've just maxed out everything I can get out of this place. It's not to say that you're in like a bad place. And I don't feel the universe like pushing you out or lighting a fire under you just yet. But I do think if you were to stretch this out for another 3 years, this is a real situation where it's like, you know, never be the last one to leave the party and know when it's time to leave a situation. Some people overstay their welcome, and by the time they are removed, right, and you don't want to get to a place where you have to be removed, but by the time they are removed, there's nothing left. They're like a shell, you know, and it's symbolic of what you can get out of the place. I think you're also looking for more fun, more invigoration, more, is that a word? Invigorating, I heard. More opportunities. Something about nature also, so maybe closer to like the water or more interesting parks, the lay of the land. I think the people, the climate, the mentality. You may be looking at going to a place that is a nice combination of nature and the city. Okay. Where there's a nice balance of respect, or just a little ways out of the city. It's like, I'm in a forest, you know, it's like, this is amazing. Like, who would know the skyscrapers are right there, but they are. And I think you're looking for more. I think you're looking to be fed, and you're realizing you're not getting fed anymore. You know, where you are, you're feeding a lot, you're putting a lot in, but you're not getting a lot back out. Also, going deaf in the left is mediumship. So you're receiving a lot of messages from spirit on this. You have been to the point where sometimes you may have like extreme tinnitus, or you're going deaf, or you're waking up and you're like, oh my God, you know, I'm receiving messages and downloads, and I'm hearing my name audibly called. So you'll be hearing more about this. So spirit is basically going to take you the rest of the way. Okay. So which leaves, that's nice because there's no question, you know, when spirit intervenes in something, it's like, oh good, they have the map. Just gonna go along for the ride. You're like a little kid in the back of the mom's car, you know, with your blanket, and she's handling everything. It's like, give me my teddy bear and let me go to sleep. You know, it's just like, all you have to do is follow the steps. Yeah, this looks good. I like this for you. Very good. Very good. All right. Good luck, Mindy. We're going to move on to, are there any other ones coming in? I did want to apologize. I had to cancel the pet readings show. I got sick this weekend. Nothing serious, but it did wipe me out. And I know when to pull back. And so I was like, nope. I could have pushed through, but I was like, I'm not, what am I pushing for? So I just rescheduled the pet readings show. That was supposed to be Friday. So I do apologize for anyone who is tuning in for that. I'm going to reschedule it ASAP, and we'll get it back in. Okay, the circulation here. So please do follow for updates on when I'm bringing that back. We have another one here for Black Cat 2137. Thank you So they say thank you. I don't know what this is connected to, but previous reading though. Thank you. He has been a bag of bricks. Oh, okay. I know which one that was. Your divorce. Thank you. He has been a bag of bricks. So I'm excited to glow up and get away soon. It's the man tantrum I'm not looking forward to. Well, let him have one and let him look like a fool in front of lawyers and stuff if he wants to have his little mantrum, it's like irrelevant to you. He was going to do it anyways, for sure. So he holds no power. I like to say about people who do stuff like that, if someone has to throw a temper tantrum and act nuts, it's because they have no power and they know it. You can just remind them by being at peace, centered, take all his shit. Camilla. All right. Yes. Camilla is Black Cat 2137. All right. Who else do we have coming in? We are at time. All right. That is perfect because my body's starting to go right back down. So I'm going to go get a little more rest. I will be back tomorrow for my dream analysis show. I freaking love this one. You guys get your dreams in early. Anything you want analyzed, try to keep it at 25 words or less. It is going to be unlimited, so you can ask as many questions as you want. I will tell you what your dreams are showing you, what messages are hidden, okay, what direction is being given. And if it gets great engagement from you guys, I will add it to the 2026 show lineup. Also, just a couple other quick announcements. Please mark your dates. This is a full week of shows. We also have coming up, again, if you want to become a YouTube member on Tuesday, my YouTube members get their exclusive, my undivided attention at their monthly Ask Ivy show. So you can go onto YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium right now and click the join button. If you enter in with the 2 top tiers, you get to join in with this monthly exclusive Ask Ivy show. So that's Tuesday night. And then we have on Wednesday, the Unbound Sage, my show where I deliver out to you whatever is the most important message for you to hear at this time. And then on Thursday is my yes or no question show. That is also going to be unlimited, so get as many questions in as you want. Start getting them rolling now. You guys, when you drop your payments, make sure you say with your payment and or your question which show it's connected to, because a lot of people drop early payments to get up here earlier in the show, in the line. And also, don't forget, Diana and Kim, my beautiful producers, are now time stamping all of your readings. So if you want to get a reading at a show, but you don't have time to tune in, once the show is published exclusively here on YouTube, there will be a timestamp so you can go back and watch or rewatch your reading anytime. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Esmeralda Marie. I'll see you guys tomorrow. What you doing?